The search event. So now in the search, we just need to single endpoint, right? Like just the event. So search could be based on date also, or it could be based on actor also, different keyword, right? So we can just call it a keyword. Events, go to our endpoint, our keyword, it could be actor name or whatever. And then we would have a start date, or let's say time, date, and the date, right? Right. So that kind of gives us the pagination. Then we are searching when, so it's what would be the result, right? Uh, and this will be get, right? So, so I think 200 okay should be 200. That also helps sometimes. Okay. So now we are at API design, right? So we need to book the ticket. Let's think on how we can do. So book a ticket. What all do we need? We need ticket information from the user, right? We need ticket information. Let's the whiteboard. So book the ticket, but is right. We need uh, tickets info and we need payment, right? Now, naively, what we can say is that we will get the ticket infos, we'll get the payment info on a post endpoint, and then we'll return a booking ID back. Now, maybe down the line in deep dive, things might change, but for now, I think this is good enough. This is going to be a post endpoint to post, and then we'll have a bookings, then we'll return the this might have also been. Now comes the actual of it. Really should be around 20. We are going think that Comes user should be able to view the events. They should be able to see details of the event and also pick the seat available and whatnot, right? Seat might be another. Once events need. So what we can think about is that we will eventually have any client, right? Whether that could be phone or laptop, right? Have library here, and I also don't want to time later and doesn't make it beautiful. For now, we'll just get started with all things. We have their client application, their client application. Could be a phone and could be anything, right? Now, uh, as this component has different things, we can see it as user service, event service. So anyway, we can make a decision that we will go with microservice architecture. We are going to create event service, right? And eventually we will be scaling. So what another thing that we can do is we can put a load balancer in here, just a basics API. or a load balancer. So the job of API gateway is when you have event service, all these different services, right? Which service should the request go to? That is the job of API gateway. And if you guys have read this, Alex use this book, right? Scale from minion to zero. This basically has everything. This this kind of teaches you that how you should start, right? So I've gone through this. This is really good. This framework thing I have not gone. Yeah, propose a high level design. So that's what something. Okay, so API gateway can do lot of things. It can do rate limiting, all of that as well. Let's see. Uh, auth it will handle. Main thing that it is important is routing, and then auth, then rate limiting as required. So I don't want to create any arrows as such now. So then you have a event service. Now, one way is that we use a database of this event service only because this is a server, right? But we will not do that. We'll create another database because then it is okay to scale, right? This is our database. And as this is like event, right? Probably this will be a uh, MySQL database. So the first thing that we were designing was that user should be able to view the event. So that is our this cat call, right? So it will go to this and this event service and we will look it up here. Now here let's design our tables, right? Event. So what would basically happen is, right? So let's first design the ID, right? So then we would have event ID and then the event ID, event name, let's call it name, and then description, and then uh, the ID because then venue ID, and then tickets or of ticket better and then we have venue ID, name of the then location, it, then it is enter, it has a name, maybe all the list of shoes and all that for a particular event is at the venue, right? This venue has all of its tickets. So this ticket it is A, B, C, right? All that stuff. Cool. This is not. Oh, I think. Oh, my bad. Really sorry about the screen, guys. I think I was designing. So I think till API design it got stuck. So the stream was not picking up the latest thing. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Yo-Yo, for telling that. Even that graph was not visible. I think the XGalley was outdated. Just looked at the stream. Yeah, I'm good as of now. Uh, Tough situation, but yeah. Thanks for checking. Hey, Grishankar. Jason, you should watch this video, bro. Everything is answered in this video. Yeah, where did it go? This video, everything is answered in that. You should start with easy problems. Don't know how to think. So you look at solution. If you after 1 hour you are not getting anything right, it is okay to look at the solution. Start with these easy problems. Remove duplicates. Do it in one loop. Do it in two loop. It is okay if you are not able to solve. Even if you look at the solution for 50 problems during the start, that's okay, man. There are 3,000. Now there are 3,500 problems on the code. If you are looking at the solutions for first 50, 60, that's okay. Down the line, you should solve unseen problems by participating in contest or not. But don't worry too much, man. You're way too worried, I feel. Again, let me know in chat if anyone is listening or not. Right, so this is where I was. So what usually would happen in ideal case, right? That whenever I open a mobile app or book my show, then UI would call backend to get some list that we want to show it on a home page. There would be a home page functionality. So we would call some latest event and whatnot. And then once I click on a event ID, then UI would again hit backend to get that event ID data. So that is how the flow would look like. So it would be like, I think in chat some of were asking how to design these arrows were like for LLD. I'll answer that. So I am not going to give these any direction because then it becomes very confusing. But this is the way that you can do it for class diagram. You can do it like this for designs because you have to give those generalization relationships. This is like first is view call, view EID, that's event ID. Then that goes to your database, right? And database choice, if I have to make here, I'll go with Postgres or any SQL DB because we need ACID property for booking and whatnot. It makes things easy for us. So I'll give that. We'll go, let's call it Postgres or let's say MySQL. No, no, you don't have to say sorry, Jason. Don't have to say sorry. Get started, right? Just get started. It is very early for you. Like you get started, even if you're watching the YouTube video, right, of the solution, then also it is fine, right? Don't have to say sorry also. Yes, yes, yes. You're thinking in right direction only, right? So remove duplicates in sorted array. One way is that you create a new array itself. Use hash set or something like that. That's a brute force. Start with brute force. That is correct. Start with brute force and then go to optimal. So in entity we should add location because every movie, every event is only part of that location. Also we can partition. Yeah, it should be possible. But I am starting from very basic design. Maybe in like when in deep dive we could have that improvement. Starting from a very high level, which is never efficient, right? So, but you might be right. That might be better solution. But this is like a basic working solution, not scalable solution. Then eventually we can scale it out. So my learning is basically from grokking and even from this byte to byte go, right? If you see here, that also guides that propose a high level design. That's it. In this high level design, everything doesn't needs to be like accurate. But then in design deep dive, we can work on the overall goals and then change the scope of things, right? So that's how I do design, instead of like straight away thinking of sharding. As of now, it's just one database, one server, no need of sharding. But yeah, yes, that's what I did when in my interviews. No one can think of everything upfront. Not sure if your interviewer would did like that it if you had experience, but I will be solving in a way that I have given solved in interviews. Cool, then I'll not be looking at the chat for another 30 minutes because I need to get this done and then we'll get started again. So now comes the so this is a first solution for event ID, not scalable, but yeah, even in one of the interview did say that okay, now what next, right? So they were expecting for optimal thing. Then I gave them that. But yeah, it is good to kind of go into the problem and then give. So the second thing is that users should be able to search for events, right? Now again, the naive way to do search. So when we open the site, right? So now either we could put it in this event or we could separate out the search service. Let's say that I have a search service. So search query came in here and it will have parameters within it, right? With query. Let's just call it that. It will have all the parameters that we defined in the above. Size, yeah. So search. Now what this search service will do is this search service should run the query on database and give us the desired results, right? That's the link. So basically, as of now, just a link. So how it could work is that um, this UI application or app makes the request, it goes through API gateway, and then load balancer could also be there. Let's just say that this is a load balancer also. Load balancing. So, and then whichever service instance has the lowest thing, it will go to that. And then what this search service will do is, let's say I'm searching for actor name something, right? Then I would look at this event and then find that for every actor ID, which are all the events, right? So that would be like a very long query. And it would be very time taking also. Like I've practically seen that database is taking a lot of time to run a query. This could take like 5 seconds, right? So 5 seconds is not, our latency is 500, but we will eventually achieve that slowly. Yeah. Now user should be able to book tickets, right? So definitely we need a booking service. And also we would need a booking table, I'm thinking. Now what will happen here is will be requests. They will pass in ticket details and payment details, right? And this database, right, for booking. So for booking, we will have a ticket table. Ticket will have ticket ID will be there. For which event is the ticket, that also will be there. And which seat is it, right? And then what is the price and what is the status, whether it is available or booked, right? And then which user it is booked by, right? And then you will also have booking. Booking will have ID, user ID, and then ticket IDs. It could have list of ticket IDs, right? So that is what I'm thinking. So how will the flow will be that whenever um, user goes to a booking page, they will provide their payment details and whatnot, and then the server will check whether that available tickets are booked. It will update and then create a booking ID, right? And as we are using MySQL DB, so it supports asset transaction. So now this is like a basic working model. That's the like that's inspired from this thing, high level design. That this is how high level design would look like, right? There could be a lot of flaws there, but yeah, this is the high level design. Lot of flaws, right? But eventually we'll do a deep dive. But this system works, right? There is no harm in this system. It does the job. So let's bring it little bit down. So once we have done this deep down, now first thing, there could be a lot of problems in this system, right? So the next thing that we will be doing is component deep dive. Each component we will try to improve. That is something that I have learned from design data. Yeah, this in this also we do a component deep dive, right? So let's. I don't want to disturb the above design also. Okay. So now Hey guys, sorry, I was eating something. And then parallelly, I was reading about this also. Okay, so this booking service, right, it has lot of problems. Like one way is that if there is a booking request that came in, right, and if as of now we don't have any checks, what we could end up doing is that two people are booking for the same ID because we are not adding any kind of checks. So one thing could be that whenever this booking service is adding to any ticket ID, then we could have a lock on this table, right? So that's a terminology where you can put a lock onto a table row, right? But then that is not recommended because it kind of puts the load on the table. So, and then the other approach could be that we have a we mark this ticket as reserved, and then we have a cron job. So cron job, what cron job could do is cron job could if the TTL of this ticket is like, and then you can have like when it was marked reserved, right? Then for all the tickets, when it's time over, then you can automatically get rid of uh, this ticket, right? Mark it booked or available based on whether user was able to pay. So it is all derived from whenever we make a payment for a ticket, we open our phone app and then we get like 4 minutes or 2 minutes to make the payment, right? So for that time, that ticket is reserved for the user. Now, the best solution based on the resources that I have read is to use Redis here. So Redis is known for distributed locking. So Redis uh, as let's call it distributed locks and then Redis. So now what is going to happen is, so let's me bring this and this over here. So whenever a new request for booking service comes in, right? So it will have ticket details. So first this will check whether that ticket is available, right? If there is already lock on this ticket, then that will not be showed to the user. First things first. But let's say if uh, it is a new and it is a available ticket, so it will create a ticket ID and a TTL, comma time to live. Think of it like this. So each entry has a time to live, right? Like this, and then eventually we will be outsourcing the payment to something, right? But that is out of scope. So probably something like Razor Pay, it's here. So that is that you're you are using it with the time to live and Redis is distributed. So it's not just one server, right? It is multiple Redis servers. So now when a new booking request comes in, so for example, let's say let's take an example. So user one is trying to book ticket one, right? So there will be ID created in booking ID table. So ticket table will have T1 and its status will be as of now it will be available, right? But it will create an entry in Redis in our distributed log uh, with T1, and then there will be TTL. Generally, TTL is of 5 minutes. TTL will be of 5 minutes. So you trying to book that ticket. So we'll create an entry here, and then here this booking ID will also have a status. So that is in progress. Uh, in progress, failed, or completed, right? These are three status that it can have. Success or pass, let's say. Fail, pass, success, right? So now if the payment is done, like now if the payment, then it will send out the query if the now the user makes the payment to that booking ID, right? Then this will send back the information to this booking service of that booking ID, and then we will go to this booking ID, and then all the tickets in this booking ID will be updated to booked. So this way what we are doing is, right, there will be no two transactions done on the same ticket. That's what I'm thinking. Why is distributed lock needed here in the table? We will have rows of seat. Every seat that get reserved will be marked reserved. Yes, that is another way of doing it. In the table, you can lock that particular row. Yeah, it's a row lock. I was also thinking of that. Like, will that be a best solution? Will that be a best solution? Like one thing that I had read is that database locks should not be kept for 5 minutes. That is something that I have read in some documentation. Uh, and also, do we have lock timeouts? Like, do we need to release the lock or how it is going to happen? Not sure on that also. That's where distributed bit is something that I've seen being used in these systems. So if the payment has failed, so let's so for example, let's say in this we did a rock lock on this uh, ticket, and then that in that the payment never happened. So who will release the lock? Yes, it has been marked reserved, and now the payment never happened. So how will you do the rollback? You will have a cron job, right? Some cron job or something that is. So then that is cron job plus your lock. And then this is like distributed locks. That's it. Yeah. I think both solutions make sense. That's why they always say that system design is mostly pros and cons discussions rather than interviewing. Yep. Yeah, cron job. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it is like either a combination of uh let's write that out also. Another solution is uh, granular row level locking plus cron job, right? That's one more solution. So now this way our booking is better than where it was, right? Okay, now coming to the view part, right? This event service where we are getting a view call. So couple of things, right? All of this is already horizontally scaled. So that thing is always there. But when you do need to view, right, couple of things you can do is you can cache comes into picture like the latest thing. You don't need to make a call to DB, right? So now we are improving our event service, right? So for improvement of event service, what I can think of is that it's a read operation, right? Read operation that we have to improve. Now caching comes to the mind, indexing comes to the mind, and what else comes to the mind? So let's say there is something that is very frequently get, like for example, some uh, Coldplay. So right, it is very frequently searched. So we can just put that event details in a cache. So that is like a straightforward solution, right? So you have a cache here, cache, right? So you can first check in that cache. So there are different cache policies, hit, miss, and all that, right? Cache improve and all that. So that is one thing. What else we can do? And everything is horizontally scaled, right? So what cache will store is event ID, EID, E details, just key value pairs, right? And this will also have a TTL because there is a cache invalidation concept, right? Cache invalidation is when the data in your cache is not valid, so you kind of get rid of that data, right? So whenever there is a update to this thing, you can get update your cache based on that. And let's make this horizontally scalable as well. Event service is horizontally scalable. Now, one of the challenge here would be like, what will be the main aim of this? Like, there are cache policy database. So write through. So write through is data when both cache and main memory simultaneously. Okay, so the data is written to both. So in this way, the the cache is already maintained, right? This ensure data, but there will be high latency. We don't want to do that, right? But it will ensure data consistency. So write through. You write to both. And then write back is that. So, okay, write through is both at the same time. Write back is back on the DTV, right? And then would be write around. So here, write back is back on the DB. Here, write around is also around DB. First, you go to DB. Cache miss, yeah, cache miss will be there. So yeah, we need to choose among this, right? This ensures data consistency. So whenever you have to call, you can read it from the DB. So we need to choose from these three. So write through it around which write through is both at the same time. So that is consistency, but it will take more. Yes. So your point is good, Yo-Yo, on that where you're saying that we should separate the database. But what I have read is that Postgres can handle a lot of uh, queries, so it's not like that it is not scalable. That is something that I have read. But you are right that Postgres is consistence plus partition, and Dynamo is the opposite, availability plus partition or MongoDB, right? And cache should sit in front of, yes, that is what. So there is like this is also distributed cache. CDN, yes, CDN can also come into picture. But I'm just now thinking of which right policy would be there for this, for cache. It can't be this ensures data consistency. Probably right through. I think we are using. Yes, yes, yeah, it is good to throw it out. Definitely. Definitely, we can mention that point. What do you think, Yo-Yo, on the cash policy? Yeah, now there are more pieces of this puzzle left. Like we need to make sure how we can improve the search, right? Those kind of things are left. But I'll be taking a break now. Oh, I didn't start this, but I think one more HLD is kind of done. Yeah, I'll be opening the floor to now questions if anyone has that, and then later we'll complete that this design. So let me just download this. 5. Yeah, that also sometimes comes in the interview, like how will you handle cache invalidation and all that. It's a good interview question. So Yo-Yo, where do you work at? Like you also seem to have good system design knowledge. At least you are clear on some different topics. You have different options. You seem new to the channel as well. Mhm. Yeah, good man. You're on right track then if you're preparing. Which resources are you following for preparing? Nice. Now you're working in some startup or where are you working now? Oh, nice, nice. Hope everything is good. Hope you enjoyed your break. How much experience do you have? How much experience you carry? Oh, nice, nice. You're like 1 year more than me. You are my senior then. Happy to learn from you as much as I can. Okay, cool guys then. This will be another break. Night is night. I'm going to do LLD again. Cool, yo yo. Bye. Take care, man. It was nice talking to you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you, sir.